Hey guys, just want to do another quick video real fast. I didn't plan on doing a video this soon, but while I was here doing some maintenance, I figured I'd go over the belt tension with you guys. It's a little confusing. It really isn't too bad, but I just figured I'd go over this in case any of you guys had any questions. So again, this is a Rayco rg45 XR. This should work for any of the Rayco rg45s that has the poly chain belt. So real quick, we'll go over here, and I need to clarify on my review. I said that this was open, and it is clearly not open. You cannot clean out the chute if you take this plate off. Must have been another machine I was looking at. I'm not too worried about it right now. It's actually, I'm kind of glad it is this way because the belt tension system is actually in this box, so it just keeps it clean and neat inside of there and makes it a little bit easier to tighten the belts. I know this is a lot different than my Rayco 1635s and 25s, so I figured I'd do a quick shot of what we got going on here and what you got to do in order to get this belt tightened the right way. So as you can see here, I got the belt cover off. I cleaned everything up. Over here is the guard. Got it all cleaned up. Cleaning them up just makes the job go a little bit easier. Not to mention, it keeps this whole area clean from debris and everything. It's good to get all that crap out of there. So we'll get to it. Some of the tools that you're going to need. 9/16 socket, 3/4 socket, and then obviously your wrench. You don't have to have this stuff, but I think it's going to help you. Carpenter's pencil, a Sharpie, and a belt tension tool. And don't forget your tape measure. And I'll explain to you why all that stuff's important. We got the book open up over here. This is the belt tension in the maintenance side here. So I'll go over the whole thing here. There's a couple pages on how this actually works. As you see here, there's a little cutout inside of that guard here. That cutout's a really nice thing because now you can take that off without having to take the whole entire assembly off of here, the protective cover here, and you can check that tension. So once you establish that you have an issue and you need to tighten it or possibly loosen it, I doubt you'll need to loosen it, but I suggest taking this cover off. Like I said, clean it up a little bit. And one of the main reasons I say that, it is important to clean these things up. You have these sprockets here. All this metal in here is open. So anything that gets inside of here can potentially get inside of here. And not only is it going to wear out your gears here, it's going to wear out this belt. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but these belts, they're not cheap. I think this one's right around $500. It might even be more, I'm not sure. But they're not a cheap belt. So you definitely want to keep that crud from getting in here. And you'll see when you pull yours off, this whole thing's going to be covered in like grease if you grease your machine, because that grease just comes up through here and then, blows around. And any of the dirt and dust that gets inside of there just turns it into little dirt grease balls. It's gross. But, yeah, you definitely want to do your best to try and keep this stuff clean. And that goes for, there's a bearing up here and a bearing up here. And belt tension is definitely important because you don't want to wear out these bearings in here or these bearings in the tensioner or, possibly break that gearbox up there. So we'll get to it. I'll show you how they want you to do it through the book. So first things first, you want to take these 4 bolts off. Excuse me. take these 4 bolts off, and that'll come off with it. So you'll have those 4 bolts, and then you'll have to take this thing off the side of it. Pretty simple to do. While you're here, there's a bolt right here, and there's a bolt right up here. This guy right up there. You're going to want to loosen those 2 bolts. Basically what that does is it frees this up so that it can adjust. So once you get done with that, you'll come down here onto the back side. So right here, you'll see this big bolt coming through here and 2 nuts on it. This is just a backing nut. This just keeps this one from turning. So once you get it adjusted, it keeps it from, moving around. So you're going to want to turn this one back. Get it a little ways back, a couple turns off of there. And then you're going to want to tighten this up. So now that all that other stuff up there was all freed up, we got it all loosened up, you're going to want to turn this to the right. And that's going to in turn pull this down. When you're pulling this down, you're actually pulling this tensioner down. As you pull this tensioner down, clearly you're going to put tension on here. I know it sounds simple, but we might as well explain how this stuff works. You can see here, I wrote down with my Sharpie, this is in the manual, 12 to 15 pounds at a 1/2 inch deflection. So what that means is on this long belt you see here, as you apply force to this, you're going to want to have 12 to 15 pounds of pressure on here, and you want to get a 1/2 inch deflection. Nice easy tool to use for that. You can get online, just about anybody sells them. This tool here, this one here is made by Browning. It's a belt tension tool, and all it really does is has a spring inside of here, and as you push it gets tighter and tighter. You can see this little ring on here, and they have it listed both ways. So you have kilograms, you have pounds. I'm trying to get this thing so you can see it. Anyways, it starts at 5 pounds and goes all the way up to 40 pounds. I have it set here at 15 pounds. So I know whenever I'm pushing on this, when it hits this rubber O-ring, we're at 15 pounds. So basically what we want to do is we want to push this till it gets to the 15 pounds and then measure it. And the easy way to do that is with your carpenter pencil. I just took a carpenter pencil and put it straight across this belt here, and that'll give you your baseline. You'll take all right, I'm going to do this with one hand. So we'll pretend that pencil's on there. Once you have your baseline, you're going to take your tape measure. You're going to measure a 1/2 inch. So you'll have a 1/2 inch from here to here. Baseline, there's your 1/2 inch mark. Your pencil we'll put on here as well. So pretend like the pencil's in between this belt and the tensioner. You'll put that pencil in between there and you'll push on this to 15 pounds. Once you get to 15 pounds, as long as the top edge of that pencil's on your 1/2 inch mark, you know you're good. You're in the right range. So that's the easiest way to do that. Once you get that tight, you're going to want to go back inside and tighten your tensioner back down. Big important thing, once you tighten this down, you're going to want to check that tension again, because what tends to happen is this gets loose and it kind of wobbles back and forth whenever you loosen this up. So when you tighten it back down, it might push it tighter or it might be a little bit looser. So you want to check it just to be sure. Mine was right on, but you never know. Better be safe than sorry. So get that tightened down. Make sure that it's, correct. And if it's not, go back, readjust a little bit, and you'll be good to go there. Now that we have this tightened down, we can go back under here and tighten your backing nut all the way back up. as tight as it'll, you know, give it a nice snug so that it doesn't fall off. You don't want the vibration, you know, getting this thing to fall off, and next thing you know, you're out of adjustment. You don't need all that. So you get that tightened back up. Go ahead and put your guard back on, and then put this guy back on, and you'll be set. That's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll help you out as much as I can. If I said anything wrong in this, please let us know in the comments. I'm pretty sure I got it about right. Thanks, and have a good day.